Turkish President Declares Emergency. 3 nations to provide 100 Leopard 1 tanks for Kyiv. Google opens Bard chatbot to test users. U.S. Treasury Secretary says there isn't a recession. AMC to charge more for good seats in movie theaters. Swiss to vote on preventing cashless society. India to relaunch its INS Vikramaditya aircraft carrier. A transgender couple say he is currently pregnant.
Hello, I'm Wade Lee. Thank you for joining us on FUNDAY News. It is Wednesday, February 8th, and here are your top stories. Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan on Tuesday declared a state of emergency for 3 months in 10 provinces devastated by 2 earthquakes that killed more than 7,200 people and left a trail of destruction across a wide area of southern Turkey and neighboring Syria. Rescuers toiled night and day as people waited in anguish by mounds of rebels, clinging to the hope that friends, relatives, and neighbors might be found alive. Winter weather has hampered rescue and relief efforts.
Monday's magnitude 7.8 quake, followed hours later by a second one almost as powerful, toppled thousands of buildings including hospitals, schools, and apartment blocks as the scale of the disaster became ever more apparent. The death toll will probably rise considerably. One United Nations official said it was feared thousands of children may have been killed. Erdogan said the government will open up hotels in the tourism hub of Antalya to temporarily house people impacted by the quakes.
Denmark, Germany, and the Netherlands will pool funds to restore at least 100 old Leopard 1 tanks from industrial stocks and supply them to Ukraine. The countries said Ukraine would receive within the coming months at least 100 Leopard 1 A5 tanks, as well as training, logistical support, spare parts, and an ammunition package. Dutch Defense Minister Kees Ollongren said the Leopard 1 was definitely still suitable for combat use despite being an older model.
Ollongren said on Dutch national broadcaster NOS they are being fixed up and made battle ready, so they will definitely be useful for the Ukrainians, and also better than a number of Russian tanks. The media reported there are some 180 Leopard 1 tanks in Germany owned by arms maker Rheinmetall and a company in northern Germany. In total, the German government approved the export of up to 178 Leopard 1 tanks to Ukraine. Further, Belgium had shown initial interest to participate.
Google announced live testing of its new Google Bard, an AI chatbot based on the Lambda 2 protocol, stating the conversation AI would be available to the general public in the coming weeks. The search engine giant officially opened its AI test kitchen. This is a space for Google to experiment with various AI-related technologies, and these innovations are moving beyond the internal test phases to the general public, including the notorious Lambda 2 chatbot.
LaMDA refers to language model for dialogue applications, which is an advanced AI-driven chatbot that began popping up in the news when a Google engineer announced it had achieved sentience. But the public rollout is being used to test various parameters and features, as well as to minimize future risks of LaMDA adopting some of the internet's less savory characteristics. This is similar reasoning behind Meta releasing their own chatbot, BlenderBot, to the public.
U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen on Monday said she saw a path for avoiding a U.S. recession, with inflation coming down significantly and the economy remaining strong given the strength of the U.S. labor market. Yellen told ABC's Good Morning America program, "You don't have a recession when you have 500,000 jobs and the lowest unemployment rate in more than 50 years. U.S. Labor Department data released Friday showed jobs growth accelerated sharply in January, with non-farm payrolls up by 517,000 jobs and the unemployment rate dropping to a 53.5-year low of 3.4%.
Yellen told ABC that reducing inflation remained Biden's top priority, but the U.S. economy was proving strong and resilient. She said 3 separate pieces of legislation, the Inflation Reduction Act, the CHIPS Act, and a massive infrastructure law would all help drive inflation down, along with a price cap imposed on the cost of Russian oil. Yellen called on Congress to raise the U.S. debt limit, warning that failure to do so would produce an economic and financial catastrophe.
I always needed time on my own. I never thought I'd take your blessings with your heartaches too. It's so easy and so wonderful to know it's you.
学习，一切从今天开始。FUNDAY 英语。
The largest movie theater chain in the U.S., AMC Theaters, on Monday unveiled a new pricing scheme in which seat location determined how much your movie ticket costs. Seats in the middle of the auditorium will cost $1 or $2 more, while seats in the front row will be slightly cheaper. AMC said the pricing plan, dubbed Sightline, has already been rolled out in some locations and by the end of the year will be in place at all domestic AMC theaters during showing after 4 p.m.
AMC said seats classified as standard or Sightline will be at the regular price. If you want to pay less for the value Sightline seats, you have to be a member of the chain's subscription service, AMC Stubs. The media reported that as movie theaters have attempted to recover from the pandemic, exhibitors have increasingly looked at more variable pricing methods that included charging more for sought-after movies like The Batman in their first week of release.
After collecting enough signatures by Monday to trigger a popular vote on the issue, a pressure group, the Free Switzerland Movement, said Swiss citizens will get the chance to try to ensure their economy never becomes cashless. The group said cash is playing a shrinking role in many economies, as electronic payments become the default to transactions in increasingly digitalized societies, making it easier for the state to monitor its citizens' actions.
The Free Switzerland Movement said it wants a clause added to Switzerland's currency law, which governs how the central bank and government manage the money supply, stipulating that a sufficient quantity of banknotes or coins must always remain in circulation. Under Switzerland's system of direct democracy, the proposal would become law if approved by voters, though the government and parliament would decide how that law was implemented.
India is preparing to relaunch its INS Vikramaditya aircraft carrier after a major refit, a critical step towards fulfilling its plan to deploy 2 carrier battle groups as it seeks to strengthen its regional maritime power to counter China's increasing assertiveness. The Vikramaditya, a former Soviet carrier acquired from Russia, is expected to launch imminently and will join India's first domestically built carrier that was launched in September, the INS Vikrant, in undergoing outfitting and sea trials, with a plan to have both fully operational later this year.
India has nuclear weapons and has been building nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarines as part of its nuclear triad of air, sea, and land-based platforms. It currently has 2 such subs and plans for 2 more, as well as nuclear-powered attack submarines. Its fleet also includes 10 destroyers, 12 frigates, and 20 corvettes. But it is proposed 2023 to 24 budget presented Wednesday, the government increased defense spending by less than 2%. Even if it does go ahead, a 3rd carrier would take years to build.
A pregnancy photo shoot by an Indian transgender couple is being widely shared on social media. Zia Pavel, 21, and her partner Zahid, 23, who lives in the southern state of Kerala, were in the process of gender transition when they decided to have a baby. Ms. Pavel, who says she's always wanted to be a parent, was assigned male at birth and now identifies as female. Mr. Zahid, who only uses one name, was assigned female at birth and now identifies as male. He is currently pregnant, and the couple expects to welcome their baby soon.
Ms. Pavel and Mr. Zahid say their experience may be rare in India because no one else has called themselves a biological parent in the transgender community as far as we know. When Ms. Pavel from a conservative Muslim family and Mr. Zahid from a Christian family met 3 years ago, they were both estranged from their families. He had left his family after coming out as transgender to them, but after he became pregnant, his family accepted the couple and were supportive.
FUNDAY News will help sharpen your English skills while keeping you informed on current international events. Tune into our other FUNDAY programs to learn more about the world's most important topics in English. Click the link below now to join FUNDAY for free. I'm Wade Lee, your host. I'll see you next time.